Welcome back to the Virgo channel. My name is Laura. If you're new to the channel, I'm going to do a general message for Virgo. Know that energy is fluid. Just interpret the message as it best resonates with you. Now, again, if you're new to the channel, anything of any importance and relevance to the channel, you can find in the description box below. All important links, Patreon link, especially if you're looking to do shadow healing. Now, I like to look at more than just how your person feels and what they did do, what they're going to do. I always look to see what the spiritual blocks are and how they play out as karmic themes within your experience. I like to do more healing style readings on this channel as well as my Psychic Soul Healer channel. So you will find out what your person has intentions to do. However, if they're not in alignment with what you want to experience, you'll have the opportunity to shape shift your experience. This is why they're healing style readings, because there's many different realities that play out at one time. Your level of consciousness depends on what you do, what your habits are, how you deal with the situation. Karmic, when they're negatively karmic experiences, it's mainly because we're not in alignment with our higher self, our true self. And so situations tend to play out with experiences a lot of times with karmic mates that aren't in alignment. So I don't know why I'm channeling that. We'll see. Usually whatever I channel has something to do with what's going on within your situation. If you want to enter into winning a free reading with me, all you need to do is, well, all you need, number one, is to be ready to get a shadow reading. That's number one, because it's not just looking at what's on the surface. We would go deep. Number two, you'd have to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and write the word of the video. The word of the video is also going to be the underlining energy of what's going on in your situation. So let's see what the spirit want you to know. There's too many. It takes a little time. Let's do a little shuffle since it's not just doing the roll-out method. Okay, let's see. Cycle of life. Cycle of life. So I'm feeling like a cycle of life, we all know, is usually we're born, we live a life, we die. Before we die, we have children. It's again, and we repeat the cycle of life, obviously. So when we're talking about cycle of life, it usually means like generational karma. It usually means a behaviorism. So I'm feeling, Virgo, as if you're being confronted with a situation that is very, very karmic. And it's very karmic because I feel like you grew up in an environment where it was really imbalanced, an imbalance where you had a father that was really emotionally unavailable, probably drank a lot, wasn't around a lot, or there was some sort of avoidance. They weren't really in your life. They were there, but they weren't emotionally there, and they didn't show up a lot when needed to. And I feel like your mother was really, really an emotionally imbalanced because, again, married to someone that wasn't there for her. So there's this dynamic, again, that happened when you grew up. And this is actually what also happened with your grandparents and your great parents. So there was always a karmic theme, and the karmic theme that you inherited was to be in relationships with people that really emotionally weren't there for you, couldn't give you what you need because of their trauma. So I'm feeling like you are being presented with this type of experience. We're going to see how it plays out. We're going to see whether or not you're repeating the cycle because of inheritance. Again, we inherit, which means that when you grow up in an environment, you learn the habits, the behaviors, you're conditioned to think a certain way, to behave a certain way. And many times, how we were conditioned is we take those behaviorisms into new experiences that aren't imbalanced, and we wind up making them imbalanced because it's part of our survival mechanism. Your mind doesn't know the difference between emotional and physical trauma. So our relationships, when we're in a connection with someone that is not emotionally giving to us, that there were signs before. And a lot of times, one of the signs is that we are always doing the work. We're putting in extra work to make up for the fact that the person that we're with is not really making us feel secure. So there's a little bit of this energy. And again, emotionally is just as important as physically. So if you want to enter into winning free reading with me, remember you're going to write the word cycle of life in your comment bar. You'll know if I chose you, if I wrote the word winner underneath. If I did, we'll correspond back and forth on YouTube. If you happen to miss your stream, because a lot of times that just happens, we set a date and then you miss that, then don't worry, just reach out to me again and we will reschedule. I'm going to be on anyway, and when I'm on, even though a person may be the winner, it's usually whoever winds up on that stream can resonate with the message. So again, it's not always just for the winner. So we're going to look and we're going to see how your situation is playing out. And we can do this by seeing who you're connected to. Like, what are their feelings about you? What are the hidden truths? What is it that you don't know about your situation? I always like to start there because it's a good place to see what a person emotionally feels about you, whether they feel guilty, whether there's any remorse, if you are in separation, whether they don't care, whether they thought that it was just a fling. What was their mindset? Because that will help us again see what is the karmic cycle that you're breaking. And it takes a second or two for a card to fall out. Okay, I'm being called to take that one. Okay, we will be together again. So you're in separation with someone that I believe that they're not focusing on what they do. They're focusing on the connection, on the spiritual connection and the attraction. I left when I saw you with someone. I feel like you left when you felt that there was someone else. You came closer than anyone. So it's again, we will be together again, but there's almost a sense of your person doesn't really know what they want. This is the energy. When energy comes out like this, where it's like we will be together again, but I left you when I saw it was with you with someone else. You came closer than anyone. It's like I have feelings for you. However, my ego is really in the way. I like to control, I like to strategize. I like to be in full control. And I don't really feel like I can be in full control with you. This is the energy that I'm feeling. I hid who I really am from you. I feel like this person, like I said, didn't want you to get close to them. didn't really want you to get close to them. They like to be in full control. And I feel like you're difficult to read. I think that they perceived you to be one way. And then once they really started to get to know you, they, everything that they perceived about you was different. And so there's a sense of they showed you what they wanted to show you. And I feel like they showed you that they were an asshole. Like, to be honest with you, and meaning they showed you that they didn't have feelings, that they didn't care, that they had, that they were, had a really big ego. And I feel like they usually do this when they don't want to give any energy, but they want the person to give them energy. And the reason why is so that they can read to see whether or not they're going to like the person. But the problem is that they don't like people that give them energy without working for it. You know what I mean? They want to be with a person that respects themselves. And when you don't make a person work for it a little bit, they don't value it. And I feel like in the beginning, when you first met this person, I feel like you were friendly to them. You gave them time. And I'm not feeling loads of time, but enough that they felt comfortable. And I also am feeling like they talked to a lot of different people during that time. And then what has happened is you've given them less time. And so their perception of you has changed. Just being near you is intoxicating. So there can seem to be, like, again, all over the place. My life is not as together as it seems. So again, this person, when you met them, I'm feeling like either they were in a bad relationship knowing that they were going to leave, or in the process of leaving. And like you said, I feel like they showed you a certain facade of them because they wanted you to perceive that they were richer, smarter, stronger than they really actually are. They wouldn't let you get close to them because of the strong spiritual connection. And also, they didn't really know what they wanted. And they didn't really know what they wanted because I feel like every time they went to talk to you, you were available. And not per se that they were talking to you a lot. It's just every time they wanted to talk. So it could have been like once a month, once every other month. It didn't need to be a lot. It was the fact that every time they left and they came back, you gave them the time. So there was a strong spiritual connection. And they weren't close enough to see what you were doing. So a lot of how they perceived you was just through their intuition. And I don't think that their intuition was right. And what I feeling is that they're viewing you from a different perception. So what I know is that this person is emotionally unavailable. And once you cut off your emotion, now you're getting attention towards this person. And that's why they're confused, because they weren't expecting it. They're used to things going according to their plan, them getting what they want, not really investing, not really ever emotionally connecting, and then getting in, getting out, having it only be a physical connection, a passionate connection. And the thing is, that's not really what happened here. And that you showing them a different thing altogether is making them question themselves, relationships, everything. I'm done playing games. This person again wants to like approach you, but I feel like they're not really confident to do that. I feel like the awareness of them, I don't really even feel like this person felt like they were full of drama or that they were playing games. I think that that's just the way that they're used to navigating, and but they see that it's that playing games. And also they want things on their terms. I shouldn't say that they didn't know that they weren't playing games. I don't think that they realized how toxic that they were, is what I'm getting at. And so now that they're in this different space, they're seeing that it was toxic. There is someone keeping me from you. And that's, like I said, like never shutting any doors, never really 100% closing doors with other people. Like I said, they were in the process of getting out of a situation. And I'm feeling like they're not even 100% out of that situation. And if they really wanted to leave, they would go. So now, like, this reading is actually taking on a completely different twist where, yes, they have feelings for you, but they're used to coming in and coming out and never really getting a real connection with anyone. And the reason why is because they're connected to someone else that they don't really want to be with, is what I feel like. It's just they don't have the guts to really leave that person, and they're benefiting somehow from being with that person. So, and this person is also not used to putting that much effort in. And especially if they're connected to somebody that is running around with other people in, out, while they have someone on the side that does all the dirty work. So, but that's the thing, they feel a little bit of loyalty towards that person too. So I'm feeling like your person has a lot of mixed messages towards you, like a lot of different mixed emotions, meaning towards you, like they have feelings for you. If this person wasn't in the picture, they would be with you 100%. They would put in the effort. They know that this is a soul connection. They see the difference. You give them energy, that because it's really, again, built on love, built on a connection, because they really truly have feelings they weren't expecting. And also with this other person, that there's a familiarity and there is a love, but it's not a love like as in a relationship. I love you and in a romantic sense and want to be your partner. It's like I love you for everything that you do for me. The loyalty that you've been, since I haven't been loyal, that you love me that much. That if I leave you, you're going to be devastated. So again, the focus really is on that other person. It's like, and that's because loyalty and feeling guilty is overriding, again, this love, because they haven't given you enough either to really know whether or not this relationship can work. And they say that it's like we'll be together again because it's like I can feel that you really are a soulmate. And it is intoxicating because it's different. It's based on unconditional love. So I get butterflies in my stomach. I get a burst of energy. I get excited. I feel like a teenager again. With this person, I don't really feel anything. It's like I appreciate what they do. I don't want to see them live a bad life. I just don't have those passionate feelings. I don't get excited to see them. They're like the old shoe that's always there. So again, this is why their life really isn't as what it seems, because they don't really know what the hell they're doing. They don't really know what they want to do. They're very confused. And then it's again, I feel like you left when you felt that there was someone still there. And I think that because this person is that way, they tend to perceive that everyone else is that way, especially since they were running around with a lot of people that would give them, that were in and out, that were people that never made them work for it. So they knew that those people were kind of full of shit, that people just kind of talk romance and get into fantasy land and have a good time, like maybe hook up and then in, out, done. And then so it felt like that you were going to be like that too, because that's what they're used to, when really that's not it. And really was keeping them, like I said, is that person that, and I don't even want to call them a karmic, because it's not like this person's doing anything. I feel like it's that person is there and has been there for a long time. And though they know that your person runs around with a lot of other people, they're like, I'm benefiting. This is my space. So you're going, like, they know that that person can compartmentalize. And there's a sense that your person is compartmentalizing. But see, there's a sense that they want to be done with that. They want to be done with playing games because they're not really happy any which way. See, the thing is that what they're seeing is their feelings for you are still lingering. And that's why it's starting to change, where they're starting to look at the fact that they really hid who you are. And that's why they're like, you came closer than anyone, because they wanted to change it. They wanted to, and they were going to, but this karmic, like, I don't even want to call them karmic, but it's like they always seem to chicken out. They either get guilted, and like I said, I don't really want to call it a karmic, because I feel like karmic is someone that binds someone to some, like that is like a karmic contract. I'm feeling like this karmic contract could have ended if it was a karmic contract. It's just two people existing. And mainly what it really comes down to then is whether your person really wants to stop running around and with other people, because they know that they can be with this karmic and still do that. Or if they leave, that they would have to really 100% commit to you, is what I'm feeling. So they were confronted, and there's a part of them that wants to do it. I'm not saying 100%. You are the first thing on my mind when I wake up in the morning, see, because there really is a spiritual bond, which I'm feeling like they're really uncomfortable with. Betrayal, but they know that they kind of betrayed you. And I'm also feeling as if I'm feeling like you feel like they betrayed you, because they showed you a certain aspect of them, but they're a little distorted, meaning they need healing. They want to stay in a connection where they departmentalize everything, have a person that takes care of them, like mothers them, gives them their needs. They don't really have to do that much, but someone that's always there. Then they want to run around with these people and have connections. But with you, there really is a spiritual connection. It really is different. But there is so much betrayal there. This person is not, and I feel like that's really, at the end of the day, what you'd be afraid of, even if you gave them like the time, gave them a second chance. And this is what they know. They know this at this point. So we say, okay, so why? When we get a reading like this, which is someone that comes into our life that, wants their cake and eat it too, we ask Spirit, why? What's the point of this connection? Like, why would we attract a person like this into our life? Because there's always a spiritual message. So we're going to ask what your inner child wounds are. We're also going to look at the karmic things. We're going to look at the karmic things first between you and your person. Like, again, go a little bit deeper, see what the spiritual message is, see if they're feeling anything else or what they're going to do. And then look at the inner child wounds and then what you need to heal. Because right now, what we see is just a person that is living a double life. That's the best way I can explain it. So they're fragmented. This situation is being caused by both of us. Look at your own role in this situation to help us change it. Well, in this situation, it's created mainly because if you're still holding on to this person. And I feel like for a long time on a spiritual level, you were holding on to this person. This is a spiritual connection. It's a past life. There's a lot of passion here. And I say that because this person says just being around you is intoxicating. It's like it's a real thing opposed to what they're in. But, once this person had betrayed you, and just not treating you right is betrayal. Giving a lot of mixed messages, letting you get close but not close enough is emotional manipulation. Like feeding that, even though there's a very strong, spiritual connection, like telepathic connection, because with a past life connection, there will be. because there's a spiritual lesson to be learned for both parties. Karmic usually means we associate that one person really learns and the other person doesn't learn anything. They just kind of walk away without any consequences. What we see here is that your person is still thinking about you. So I'm feeling like if there is consequences, because it's almost like once you tasted the real thing, there you can't go back to like what it was. And that's what your person didn't realize. It's like they were okay with living the way that they were, like departmentalizing. They always had the upper hand. They got to do what they want. And no matter what I do, this person's not going anywhere. They're going to do something. But they didn't realize that they would have that person like has a hold on them for guilt, really. I mean, allowing a person to do for you day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, day out, you get used to it. You become codependent. So there's a sense that your person is very reliant on that person. They didn't think that. But now they also come across you, and there really is an emotional connection where they always thought that they could live without. I could live without that. I don't really need love. See, I can get all my needs met. And so what they're realizing is my life isn't as good as I thought. My life really isn't as put together. And it's not because of this. And really, I don't know if I can go back to what it was. Our union energy needs clearing. Repeat this 11 times with slow, deep breath. I'm sorry, please forgive me. I love you. I'm grateful for you. So what they realize is again that they created a toxic connection because of what they did, and they don't really know how to fix it. And that's really what it is. And there's a sense that they can feel, again, there's a spiritual connection. So when you are connected to someone, even if you're not talking, there's an element that they know that they crossed the line. They know it's not going to be that easy for you to just forgive them, to have them back in their life. They also know that, like I said, just all of it. It's like how can you come back from this? So there's a sense of like they also know you still have feelings for them, and that they still have feelings for you, but just because they see the situation through a different set of eyes, through a different perception, because they had to go through all that, seeing you don't know what you got till it's gone. You had to go back to the same way that you were living with the same old comfortable but ugly shoe per se. You want change when you've had, the beautiful stilettos that were actually comfortable. It's like it's the change. It's makes you, I want to feel this way. Like that's really what it's about. It's the way that you make this person feel. And then go back to that situation, it's like it's boring. When they're finding that they're checking out, they're thinking about you all the time. But it's again, they've damaged this connection. Which obviously like is good that it happened, because if they can fix it, they'd have to become someone completely different. One last one. I can't validate our love in the 3D until I understand our spiritual love in the 5D. Give me time to explore this aspect so I can be a stronger spiritual partner for you. So again, they're in a place of healing. They've never had, again, like I can't validate this spiritual connection that we have. Yes, I feel you all the time. Yes, I can't stop thinking about you all the time, but I've never lived this way. I've always been in full control in my connections. Person probably had one too many bad relationships and then lived from a way where they just only cared about themselves and got people to give them, to the point that they've been connected to someone for a long time that they actually feel obligated um, to the point that it really confuses them to have to change. So that's why it's like you want me to like show you in the physical realm, and you're showing me all these spiritual things and you're telling me and I'm feeling it, but it's like I don't really understand it. And to let go of what's familiar is terrifying. So we have to ask Spirit, why would Spirit bring a person to you that emotionally and physically can't give you anything? If they're physically not never going to be in your life and emotionally they can't give you anything, what was the point of this connection? Why did Spirit bring this person into your life? That's when we get a situation like this, because what I see here is like your person still has feelings. They, if anything, they have more feelings now than they did when you first met them. And like I said, they know that they can't really go back to the way that things were. They just don't know how they're getting away from that person. They don't know how they can walk away from that person without feeling really guilty. I'm almost feeling as if they're going to try and make the other person do it. Like that they're so checked out all the time thinking about you that that person will get angry enough, will get mad enough. That's why there's like, I'm going to try and come back, but I need to heal and I need to really explore this connection. I really need to understand this spiritual connection that we have. I know that it's important. I know you make me feel different, but it's asking me to change the way that I live my life. Oh, well, these two kind of fell out. So, abandonment and imagination. So, I mean, those two just fell out. Like I said, I did. So I'm taking them because I always feel like there's never any mistake in readings, whether cards fall out, whether, I mean, unless it's like half the deck, then it's whatever. So abandonment, I'm feeling like when you didn't get what you need growing up, you tend to go for people that tend to not to repeat those behaviors. So when abandonment, it's like my mom, my dad, and that's how your reading started. Remember, now I got it. It's again, emotionally, you had a parent that wasn't there for you. And again, so might have lived with you, but emotionally was not there for you. So that's how it's replaying out. And so imagination. So what happens when we don't get the support and abandonment? We tend to be very fearful. We tend to be using our mind more towards a negative way. And we tend to only be able to see like what has happened before. So your imagination, to be able to create and imagine, to really be able to imagine new experiences, we have to do different things over time, like especially if you've only been in connections where people haven't given you, right? If you're only in relationships where you can't imagine like ever having something that is going to give you what you need. So what Spirit was saying really is like your imagination works both ways. So if you can imagine it, you can create it. However, like I said, if you've only experienced, then you're not going to be able to imagine it. So Spirit is saying like you needed to imagine, what you want, not what you want. And so a lot of times that also means you have to recondition your mind. And like I just said, you can't recondition it until you see yourself different. You create new neurological pathways by doing different things. So automatic behavior also gets broken, meaning to be in a connection with somebody that isn't giving you right from the get-go, you wouldn't have gone along with this and acted like it was okay at all. Like I said, not noticing that if a person's coming in and out of your life every few weeks and you're talking to them, but it's not enough for you, then you know that it's not enough that they're getting from other people. So it was a little bit of being able to set boundaries to like really be able to clear this energy. We have to be like, okay, I need to take responsibility for what I did. So all that I really did was I held space for you. And you held space for them because of the spiritual connection, because of the telepathic connection. And so, but this person never, like again, has never had that type of connection before. They don't value connection. So we ask the spirit, what energy can we pull in to our life that will actually make our situation, like a lot of times being in a connection like this, it sucks, because it's like, oh, it's a karmic. And what did I learn? Well, because it's like I felt like I had a connection to somebody that didn't give me, and why did I have to go through that? Always need to ask that question. So because once you become aware of it, you're able to like integrate. So what you discovered is abandonment of self, because when you're giving to this person and giving them more respect than they're actually giving you, and that's what they were showing you. And then it says the calm. I breathe, live, and grow the light within me. I do one thing at a time and focus on the present moment. I cast off my doubts. All fears dissipates and I find peace in my being. So this is about getting strong within yourself. And also this person didn't make you feel calm. It's like, because they were always giving you mixed messages. So that's really when somebody's creating a lot of emotional turbulence inside of us, it's a sign that it's off. It's like, because you aren't doing that. So you want to get back to understanding what it feels like to really be calm in your body, and then just come from the present moment, because only in the now do you give yourself divine guidance. And if someone is not navigating the relationship properly, then you're able then to lay a boundary. And one more, just because oneness is my true nature. So it's, again, when I see oneness, like I know oneness is all about unconditional love, because God is love. The universe, his energy is made up of unconditional love. It's the vibration of the universe. So you have to become love by doing what you love, to become a magnet for love. Anything that doesn't make you stay in that vibration of really peace, which is calmness, which is the same energy. When you're in love, you're happy, you're at peace, there's peace of mind. Not that the person's going to walk out on you. It's because they show you the loyalty, they're showing you. So what really spirit is saying is, you need to become yourself. You need to, again, become that vibration of unconditional love, to become a magnet to who and what should come into your life. This way, you would know the difference between someone that was breadcrumbing and someone that wasn't. I feel like, Virgo, you put too much stock into the fact that this person, there was a spiritual connection, there's a past life connection. Those are the most passionate types of connections, but they are so because there's a spiritual lesson to be learned, and we wouldn't stick around long enough to learn the lesson unless we were passionate about it, because that person is doing things that are out of alignment with our higher self. They're triggering us. And that's what this person did in the beginning, because they were not valuing you, not because they didn't have feelings, but because there was a way that they thought that they could. And when they got away with it for a little while, it made them feel that way. You just turn the tables on this person, and that's why they're like, it's really them that learns the karmic lesson, because at the end of the day, they got to go back to that person that they're not really, that they don't really have a connection to. Like I said, it's worse to know what it's like than to never have known what it's like. They didn't know what it was like before you. Now that they know what it's like, every day it's going to taunt them every day. And I'm going to leave that there, Virgo. If you resonated with this, you let me know, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.